What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about Mortal Kombat 1. There's a new rumor out today from somebody who's pretty on the money pretty much all the time, so it's seemingly confirmed from the internet's perspective, at least, and they're talking about really future Mortal Kombat content, and that it's seemingly in trouble, and a lot of seemingly. So firstly, you get a picture talking about a Combat Pack 3, and the user says no, Fate Unknown says no, and then on the post itself, on Reddit, they go into more detail. So they say Combat Pack 3 and a second story expansion were planned. All canceled recently. No more characters after Combat Pack 2. A cameo or two might make it since there's been work done on them, but I don't know yet. And then somebody asked them, thanks for the info. Any idea why they were canceled? Chaos Reigns sold poorly. And yeah, I mean, there's more discussion on Reddit, but I mean, that's pretty much where the leaking, I guess stops in that way. So pretty big. I mean, I would say like major ramifications for the future, as people are pointing out, and I've actually done videos talking about it as well. When WB unveiled their pillars, right? These are the 4 pillars of us going forward. Mortal Kombat is one of them. It's not like NetherRealm, like Injustice and more. It's Mortal Kombat. And, I've been a little, since that happened, I've been a little concerned because, we already have had now Mortal Kombat's back-to-back times. And I feel like that has impacted something like in people's mind. Now, for what it's worth, I think Mortal Kombat 1 is definitely solid, but I really like the trilogy we had, like 9, 10, 11. The stories went kind of wild, but honestly, I really got into it, and I kind of embraced it for what it was. Not saying you have to. I'm just saying that's kind of what I did. And, I think 1 is a beautiful game. 1, I think, is a very solid fighter. But the story, specifically the ending of the story in Mortal Kombat 1, I think really, really drops the ball. And then Chaos Reigns, and by the way, WB gave me the code for both of these. I should maybe say that for legal purposes. I can still be critical, of course. Chaos Reigns, that was also something I was really looking forward to. Of course, Ghostface, coming out is a dream come true for literally for me, an absolute dream come true. So I love that. But the actual DLC story is very weak, very, very weak and very short, and the thing costs a fortune. You're basically buying the game 2 separate times, one for the base game and multiplayer and story and all that jazz, and then a second time just for DLC. And I don't know, the way Mortal Kombat is going, I feel less and less confident. The way microtransactions have been jammed into this game, and it's really been that way for a couple iterations now, like a couple entries, I should say, of Mortal Kombat. It does scare me. And then this, I guess, maybe this is something that they're learning. I'm not saying you have to cancel things when you see something is perceived badly. You could actually change things, work around things. I mean, honestly, I would say this. The main reason I imagine Chaos Reigns didn't sell well is because of the price. I mean, it's such a, when you look at the big DLCs of the world and the cost of them, this has got to be one of the most costly DLCs of all time. And then for the content that you receive, it's just not a great ratio. When you get Shadow of the Erdtree, I think that was $40, right? But this is a 30-hour thing, and then you get this game. I think this was $50, wasn't it, for the DLC for Chaos Reigns? And I mean, the story was maybe 3 hours, and then you get a couple characters, and then you call it good. It's not good enough. It just was not, and I think I said that in my review. It's solid, but it's solid for what price? What price does solid mean to you? So again, I think with the microtransactions, with the way that the writing is going on the story, again, I think it was fine through even 11. I know 11 really turned a lot of people off with the story. I still stayed with it. Even through the expansion of 11, I actually stayed through the story. It was really 1 where the story started to take more of a sour turn in my head. So that's something that I would personally improved going forward. And then just the understanding of price versus what it's worth to people, because I think that's really been lost in or maybe it's WB. Maybe it's not even NetherRealm. Maybe it's WB imposing these things on them, whatever it might be. But going back to what I mentioned a few minutes ago, when it comes to the future. So, I mean, if these things are canceled, this is probably going to be a shorter, cycle of Mortal Kombat than we've had, say, Mortal Kombat 11. When 1 came out, the way Ed Boon was talking was this game is going to be supported for 3-4 years. Now, he never said at length of years, right? But he talked about it as this indefinite thing where this game is going to be supported for years, like years and years. And I mean, we're at 1, right? They've supported it for 1 year, and then if they've canceled pretty much all future things, you're going to get maybe a couple more months of stuff, and I imagine this thing ends maybe halfway through next year, so it probably doesn't even make it to 2 years, which I actually think Mortal Kombat 11, I'm like a later fan, so I don't remember dates perfectly for the series. Mortal Kombat 11, I feel like, was supported longer than that. So, and then again, where do you go in the future? Well, if you're canceling stuff because the series isn't performing as you want it to, it's a pill. I mean, they literally just said like 3 weeks ago that this is one of their main pillars alongside freaking Game of Thrones, Hogwarts, Harry Potter itself, right? Or the Wizarding World, and Batman. You know, just a little known character named Batman. This is in the same category as those other 3 things. That's enormous. So for them to say, oh my God, we need to stop what we're doing, I don't know, like the hope for Injustice 3, I feel like it continues to get like weaker and weaker, but at the same time, if they aren't feeling confident for Mortal Kombat, are you really going to do Mortal Kombat 2? Like, you're going to make another game? Because then it would be 3 in a row, and then, I don't know, like the odds of you starting to just diminish the quality of the product, I feel like would go higher and higher, would it not? I don't know. I don't know myself. I can assume the answer is yes, but you don't actually know how it would work out. But personally, I think they need a break. I think they need to stop Mortal Kombat for a little, make an Injustice, or make something else. Shaolin Monks remake is something that I've pitched. A lot of people have pitched. Do that. Do something else. Whatever you want to do. Then come back. You know, the off and on again thing that they did with Mortal Kombat and Injustice for a while was fine. And I think it actually worked really well. And it probably gave those franchises time to breathe and room to breathe and NetherRealm room to breathe. And now it just doesn't seem like they've got that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.